There's a kind of manipulation that doesn't sound like manipulation at all. It sounds kind, caring, even wounded. Some people never yell. They don't break things. They don't insult you. They don't threaten you. They just sigh, lower their head, and somehow you start to feel like you're the one who did something wrong. Most people think narcissists are loud, arrogant, power-hungry. But the real danger comes from the quiet kind, the covert narcissist. They're not loud. They're not flashy. They're sweet, almost suspiciously sweet. They don't crush you with power. They make you kneel willingly because you believe they're fragile. And the scariest part? They make you feel guilty for wanting to walk away. When you start realizing they're destroying you, you still stay because you don't want to hurt them. That's the cage, a cage made from your own compassion. Today, we're going to expose 3 linguistic traps, 3 hidden patterns that turn your empathy into their fuel and your love into their control. Part 1. The Noble Suffering Trap. When pain becomes holy, they always begin with the same story. I just try to do the right thing. I always forgive, but no one seems to appreciate it. You know, I just care too much. Sound familiar? That's how they set the stage. I'm a good person, but life is unfair. And this story always follows the same 3 chapters, repeated like a ritual. Chapter 1. I'm a good person, kind, loyal, hardworking, always trying to do what's right. You listen, you nod, and inside your mind a picture forms. Someone safe, someone trustworthy. Chapter 2. But life is unfair. They tell stories of betrayal, of people who used them, of how they gave everything and got nothing in return. Their voice trembles, their eyes glisten, and your heart starts to melt. Chapter 3. But I still forgive, because that's who I am. And now, you don't just feel sorry for them. You start to admire them. Someone who suffers, yet still forgives. Who endures, yet still smiles. It feels noble. It feels pure, but it's not. This is the statue they build, the martyr of goodness, a false monument to morality that pulls you closer and keeps you there. But the truth, they're not good. They're performing goodness, so you'll carry their pain for them. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Don't judge a man by his complaints, but by how he bears them." The truly strong don't broadcast their pain. The truly weak always need an audience for theirs. They paint themselves as the kind soul hurt by the cruelty of the world, and you, when the listener, become the rescuer in their story. Not because you're naive, but because you're compassionate. Because when someone appears too kind to survive, your brain triggers an instinct, empathy. You want to help, you want to heal, and they know that. They're not seeking love, they're harvesting sympathy. I remember a woman named Anna. She once dated a man everyone called the kindest guy in the group. He was always helpful, always polite, always preaching forgiveness. But whenever Anna expressed a real emotion, he'd say, "I understand. You're just stressed. I forgive you. I know you didn't mean it." Forgive her? For what? For being honest? For feeling? Slowly, Anna stopped speaking her truth. She became cautious, quiet, apologetic, as if being herself was an offense. And that's how covert narcissists bind souls. Not with anger, but with counterfeit empathy. They don't force you. They make you willing to endure. I'm good. Life is unfair, but I'm still good. Those 3 sentences are their hymn, a carefully composed morality play designed to control you through compassion. Part 2. The Guilt Manipulation Trap, when kindness becomes a weapon. Here's how this trap sounds. I'm reasonable. You're not. Your refusal hurts me, so fix it. This Reich is the pinnacle of subtle manipulation. They don't yell, they don't insult. They speak softly, undisappointed, sometimes even smiling, but the message underneath is sharp and clear. If you're a good person, you'll give me what I want. The covert narcissist runs this guilt trap in 3 precise steps. Step 1, the illusion of reason. I just thought we were on the same page. They assume they're right, by default, and you start defending yourself without realizing it. Step 2, the shift. I didn't think you were that kind of person. Now the spotlight turns from what happened to who you are. You begin to doubt yourself. You start to question your own decency. Step 3, the moral pressure. A caring person wouldn't do that. And there it is, shame disguised as morality. You feel guilty, afraid of being seen as unkind. This is the weaponization of empathy. When your goodness becomes their leverage, you stop acting out of love and start acting out of fear. Fear of being called selfish, fear of being the bad one. That's the moment you lose your autonomy. That's when your heart stops choosing freely and starts obeying out of guilt. Picture this. One day you finally say no. No to a request. No to a boundary. No to something that's draining you. And instantly, their tone changes. No longer the gentle victim, but the disappointed saint. Oh, I thought we understood each other. I didn't expect this from you. No yelling, no threats, just disappointment, disguised as moral superiority. And from that moment, guilt becomes a chain. You start whispering to yourself, am I being too selfish? Am I the problem here? That's the highest form of manipulation. They don't need to attack you. They make you attack yourself. Part 3, the dependency hook. Trap, when compassion becomes a chain. Here's how it sounds. I'm weak. Only you can help me. If you love me, you'll do it. This is the emotional checkmate, the final move. They make you believe their happiness, their stability, even their survival rests in your hands. You're the only one who understands me. I don't know what I'd do without you. You always know how to fix things. At first it sounds like trust, but underneath, it's a transfer of weight, a quiet handoff from their emotions to your responsibility, from their chaos to your shoulders. Every time you help, you think you're doing the right thing, but you're not rescuing them. You're feeding the dependency. You're training them to survive through your strength while slowly draining your own. Seneca once warned, "He who depends on another for happiness is a slave." And that's what this is. Emotional slavery wrapped in tenderness. They don't want to be saved. They want to be sustained by your care, by your pity, by your time, your energy, your mind. They feed on attention the way a flame feeds on oxygen. The more you give, the weaker you become. Because love, when mixed with guilt, stops being love. It becomes captivity, disguised as compassion. Part 4, the Stoic defense one. Don't react, observe. When someone says, "You hurt me," don't rush to apologize. Instead ask, "Do you want me to listen, or do you want me to take responsibility?" That question draws the line. The honest ones will answer. The manipulators will go silent because they were never seeking truth. They were seeking control. 2, practice intentional silence. Seneca once said, "Silence is the fortress of the strong." You don't need to respond to every emotional strike. Your silence unnerves them because they can no longer command your mind. 3, separate compassion from obligation. You can care without caring. You can listen without fixing. That's the difference between kindness and self-destruction. 4, recognize the moral debt. Every time you feel like you owe someone because they were once good to you, ask yourself, did they do it out of love or to collect a favor later? If they keep reminding you of what they gave, it was never love, it was leverage. 5. Learn to walk away without guilt. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Walk away when reason calls you, and don't look back, even if the heart trembles." Leaving a manipulator isn't cruelty, it's justice to yourself. There's a story. A woman once came to a philosopher and said, "I love a man who is suffering. I can't leave him. If I go, he'll collapse." The philosopher looked at her and asked, "And how many times have you collapsed because of him?" She was silent. He continued, "If you drown trying to save the drowning, both of you die. But if you learn to stand firm, you might save others too." That story isn't just about love. It's about every bond where pity replaces reason and compassion becomes the chain that keeps you from freedom. Conclusion: the Stoic way out. When you begin to recognize these patterns, just don't ask, "Why are they like this?" Ask instead, "Why did I allow it?" Covert narcissists don't need your shame. They only need your silence when you should have said, "Enough." And sometimes resistance doesn't roar. It simply breathes in awareness. Let your silence speak louder than guilt. When you stop explaining, stop fixing, stop blaming yourself, you pull the very cord they've been feeding on. They'll get angry. They'll provoke you. They'll try to wake the guilt again. But every time you stay calm, you win. Every time you choose peace over reaction, you reclaim your power. A Stoic doesn't conquer with rage. He conquers by not being conquered within. By staying composed in the storm, by walking away, without hatred, without noise, without looking back. The world is full of people who seem gentle, who listen well, who sigh at the perfect moment. But not all of them are kind. Some don't seek connection, they seek control. So be watchful. Don't just hear their words. Feel what remains in your chest after they leave. The genuine will bring peace. The manipulative will leave you in debt. Don't try to save someone who enjoys their own suffering, because while you're saving them, they're learning how to drain more from you. Remember, you don't owe your energy to anyone who feeds on it. Your silence is not weakness, it's mastery, and your peace is your greatest form of power. If this message spoke to you, take a breath, stand taller, and carry this strength into your next conversation. Subscribe if you want to keep training your mind the Stoic way, and leave a single word below, a promise to yourself. Calm. Because every time you choose calm over chaos, you're already winning.